Give it to ya. It's your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. It is October 19, 2018. And let me get a shout out to my man Crypto Fashion for the song request for today. He wanted me to play some Cass's Dead Pat Earrings. Never heard this joint. Very catchy though. I've been rocking it for the last couple of days since he sent it. Thanks for that, Crypto Fashion, aka Minyo from across the pond, brother. What's good? Hope you guys are doing all right today. We're going to be talking about two interesting topics that I found this morning. One really caught my eye, guys, and I was shaking my head when I saw this. A new study that's out. They've crunched the numbers. They looked at all the data, the price action. They've come to the conclusion that futures expirations for Bitcoin on the CME has no direct correlation with price moves up or down in Bitcoin. So they've been, I guess, taken this whole year and looked at each futures expiration, and yeah, we're going to look into the details of that. And also, one of the most infamous hackers out there has just come out to say that Bitcoin Cash is actually the real Bitcoin, and he's going to tell us why. We're going to read that article. Thought that was interesting. I would love to hear what he has to say about that. But first, let's take a look at that market cap. We're down slightly a bit more at 209 currently. And Bitcoin's dominance is at 53.9%, almost 54%, guys. Movement in the market cap and Bitcoin dominance, but not much movement in the price. We did see a slight drop down in Bitcoin from yesterday, as you can see right there, a little drop. But overall, just no real action here, guys. We've got a small little floor at around 63.59. But other than that, it's no real price action. We're just dead in the water right now, but not looking good to the upside, in my opinion, the longer we stay below 6,600. But that first article is out of CCN. It says here, Bitcoin's price not correlated to futures expiration dates. Research says the common idea that Bitcoin price drops just before the cryptocurrency futures contracts expire has no solid basis, a new study published by Syndicator suggests. The report, titled Bitcoin Futures Market Evolution, studied Bitcoin volumes on futures and spot currency exchanges to get an idea about the liquidity and development of the holistic trading market. It initially found the presence of institutional investors in the future markets, analyzed their past positions on the futures, compared them to the Bitcoin price movements before the expiration of the future contracts. The analysis is rested on the theory that future markets, with their comparatively low volume than the spot markets, are insufficient catalysts when it comes to predicting Bitcoin spot prices. The syndicator researchers therefore opted to study the Bitcoin price action every time a futures approached its expiration date. This is partly because of arbiters trying to gain from differences between futures and spot prices that can be produced by lower liquidity and or differing demand-supply dynamics of futures and spot investors in the short term, the researchers explain. Last December, CBOE and CME launched Bitcoin futures around the same time, with just a week difference between them. The syndicated report found that the Bitcoin price pattern before the first futures contract expiry in both exchanges was similar. The price dropped before each fix and started increasing afterwards, similar to the belief that speculators have operated on to date. And this chart, guys, shows the red highlighted area are the 7 days prior to expiration, and then the blue are the 5 days or 7 days after expiration. Article goes on to say here, probably because it was the first expiry, the CBOE futures experienced a spike in intraday hourly return volatilities on expiry, the report said, while citing the pump and dump price behavior of Bitcoin between January 16th and 17th. The CME futures expiry, however, reacted smoothly to a similar pump and dump approach that took place between January 21st and the 29th. Article goes on to say here, following that first settlement date, expiries of both the CME and CBOE futures found their relevancy fading with respect to performance of the spot market. Even as futures volumes increased, the market players seemingly moved away from the futures market, its arbitrage opportunities, and future price movement dynamics in response to a strong bearish bias. Therefore, the Bitcoin price usually fell before the future expires, but didn't rise back as expected. Syndicator studied the futures patterns with respect to Bitcoin's spot price until September, finding that their popular correlation couldn't sustain the mainstream bearish factors seen after January. Every time, mainstream fundamental factors belittle futures market relevance in defining the Bitcoin price movements. In May, for instance, the Bitcoin price dropped due to a strong bearish bias imposed after the invalidation of strong support of 10,000, not because futures were approaching their conclusions. Regardless, despite the small impact of futures on the trend, it is interesting to note that volatilities picked up before expiries, a price discovery activity signal, the analysis noted. Simon Kusin, head of analytics at Syndicator, concluded by saying that there is no golden rule for trading based on futures expiration dates, but one should be analyzing the overall market trends to get a clearer picture. Our conclusions from this research are a good representation of the overall value we seek to provide to the crypto investors by presenting different reasons for why certain market movements might happen, and encourage doing research and using analytics tools, he added. So there you go, people. You know, we can kind of dispel that whole futures expiry pump and dump stuff that I used to hear during the beginning of the year. I knew it wasn't the case even back then. One thing, and they didn't really mention this, is because, you know, it's all cash settled, as I stated in the video yesterday. So there you have it. I just wanted to give you guys that information so that you can be informed and know the real deal about what's going on with the futures and how they impact Bitcoin spot price. This next article, though, is a little bit more controversial. Infamous hacker George Hotz calls Bitcoin Cash the real Bitcoin. When I saw this, I said, hey, I want to see what this guy is talking about here. This is out of Bitcoin.com, so I know people are going to say this is Roger Ver's, whatever. Let's take a look at this article and see what he has to say, because this is not coming from Roger Ver, this is coming from Geo Hot. It says here, well-known American hacker George Hotz, also known as Geo Hot, has been talking extensively about cryptocurrencies lately, and more specifically about Bitcoin Cash. On Wednesday, October 17th, Hotz published a cryptocurrency programming video using Bitcoin Cash and showed people how to send a BCH transaction from scratch using the Python programming language. Geo Hot has a reputation for being the first person to unlock the iPhone and jailbreak the iOS software back in 2017. The programmer is also known for his relationship with Elon Musk, which he claims Musk offered him millions to create a better autonomous vehicle system than the current Tesla Mobileye solution. Recently, he attended the BCH DevCon in San Francisco and was interviewed by BCH YouTuber Hayden Odo. Following the event on Wednesday, Hotz showed people how to generate a BCH private key from scratch using Python. While most of the 5-hour video shows Hotz coding and explaining what he was doing, the programmer emphasized how he would not be talking much about cryptocurrency politics. I know we're doing crypto things today, but we're not going to talk about the politics of crypto because politics is for losers, Hotz explained to the viewers. Before getting started, he also explained how he learned a few things at the BCH DevCon the prior week. Transaction fees are super low on Bitcoin Cash, the hacker detailed before starting the key generation process. Hotz continued, I'm using Bitcoin Cash because it's the real Bitcoin. Lightning Network too complicated in a won't work kind of way. This is what I've been saying. This is the first time I'm reading this article, guys. So let's see what he has to say about that part. During his interview at the BCH DevCon, Hotz also talked about the Lightning Network and the Ethereum Network's dApp projects. The programmer said he likes cryptocurrency technology and reads Ethereum code for pleasure. However, Hotz detailed that the Ethereum network is a buggy bounty because he believes smart contracts open the doors to malicious hackers getting paid without breaking laws. Hotz further stated that he was irritated with paying high network fees on the Bitcoin network last year. As far as the Lightning Network is concerned, he explained the system is too complicated in a fashion that probably won't work. Bitcoin Cash proponents on forums and social media enjoyed learning about Hotz's opinion on Bitcoin scaling debate and his informative Python lesson using the protocol's code. So here's a link to his video if you guys want to watch this whole long thing, if you're really into that type of stuff. But it's interesting to see he shares the same sentiment that I have, and I'm not as technical as Hotz is, and I even know that, man, this Lightning Network stuff is just going to be way too complicated and open itself up to more vulnerabilities, in my opinion, and also more centralization. So you guys let me know what your thoughts on Hotz opinions about Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, and also Ethereum smart contracts. I kind of hold the same opinions on that as well. So it'd be interesting to hear what you guys feel about Hotz opinions there. I gotta agree with them though. So that's pretty much it though for today, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you also click that bell. If you're watching this video and you think you're subscribed to me, just go make sure that you are. YouTube plays some games with you, boy, I tell you. It's your boy Crypto Blood, and that's my 2 Satoshis for October 19th, 2018. I'm out. Holla!